Your view at this point in the game, did they?
No, they didn't, no. And to be fair, it was one time this back three that they just lost a bit of shape. And Zagadou, who I thought was tremendous as well, just watch him here. He just slips. He just slips there, almost has to get across, and Neymar's got to tap in. But other than that, they defended brilliantly. And somehow Neymar, he had a poor game, but he came up with a huge away goal for PSG.
I think that was an example, Owen, as well, of why probably Neymar and Mbappe kept dropping so deep all game. Because they felt that there wasn't anybody else in that midfield that could do that. And the minute Mbappe does drop deep and he gets the run on somebody, things happen, as they tend to do when he's running at people. It didn't happen enough, but Neymar got the goal. And at this point, you're thinking, oh, he's got away with one here, Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah, but then Haaland stepped forward again.
Well, I'll tell you what.
What a strike.
First of all, Gio Reyna, 17-year-old young man, comes on. Huge sub from Lucien Favre. He comes on, and he's the one that takes the ball on the half-turn in the middle of the pitch and plays in Haaland.
By the way, front three at the end for Dortmund, born in Leeds, Sunderland and London.
Look at that take for a 17-year-old. It's beautiful. It really is. And the weight of that pass for Haaland and that finish, wow. That is just... There are 10 goals in 7 games. It's off the charts.
11 goals as well in 7 games for Dortmund.
No, honestly, the numbers are just ridiculous. Fantasy numbers, they really are. That strike is so clean.
It's just how he hits it. It's just, there's no follow-through. It's just hit so pure in the middle of the ball. There's no spin on it, and it just flies through the air. I mean, Navas had absolutely no chance.
You're right, because it looks as if he's almost off balance, stretching, reaching for the ball.
Well, if you're stretching and reaching for the ball, usually the ball goes up, or you just don't get that contact. But he's obviously kind of got good range in terms of how long his legs are, that he just knows how he can hit the ball and when he can hit it, because he seems to hit it at strange times as well, where keepers get caught out.
I know most people know the Haaland story now in world football, but I mean, it's worth reminding everyone at home, he's 19 years old.
He might be 19, but he's a lethal finisher. He really is. And to be fair, the players that they have, Jadon Sancho, 19, Zagadou, 20 years old. The players that they have in there, they're not just young, they're brilliant players, and they're going to be some of the world's best, very, very soon.
Yeah. Neymar came close to scoring again. One off the post, in fact, and it's just a defensive slip or lack of concentration as well, maybe at the end here from Piszczek.
Well, they are those types of players where they can have bad games, but if you just take your eye off them for a second, they will make something happen. And I felt like the intensity wasn't here from Dortmund in this defending. It was just, Max Hummels lets that bounce. Should he attack that next one? Piszczek, just bouncing around too much, and Neymar is sharp. Shifts it onto his left foot, and it's a tough chance though. I would say that it wasn't an easy one, and he was unlucky, Neymar.
And then up the other end, what a difference this could have made to the tie. Hakimi, who you were raving about all night, I mean, he's almost in. It's a good chance, isn't it, for him?
Oh, I mean, him and Jadon Sancho, they combine beautifully, and to be fair, Hakimi is just so quick. I love that he pounces on the mistake, and he knows this ball's coming from Jadon. The weight is just perfect. He just snatches at it ever so slightly, but the threat he provided on that right-hand side, you can see that again in Paris. That's going to come. They're going to get chances again. They just got to be clinical. If they're clinical, they'll go through.
Let's hear from the PSG camp now. Thomas Meunier is with Breschman.
Thomas, it was such a busy end to that game. How do you look back on those last 90 minutes?
It was really difficult, really intense. Like all the game, even the first half. Physically, it was very demanding. And obviously we deserved the draw tonight, but Dortmund was really, really good. They played like a home team, like they used to do since the beginning of the season. They didn't lose one game here at home, and we saw today that it was difficult.
Was it a missed opportunity, given that Dortmund are a side who have been conceding a lot of goals recently, and your players maybe took a little bit of time to get into the rhythm?
Yeah, true. But we thought they had a defensive problem, but the problem is that we didn't create many chances, and that's our fault. We weren't really sharp in the last 20 meters, and I think you can see a little bit of fatigue. We played almost 15 games since the beginning of January, and you saw it tonight. It was at certain moments really quiet by your side.
You'll be missing the next game as well. How important is it now to be able to, recharge your batteries for when you take this tie at home?
Yeah, we just I think we just have to be focused to take care about our food, you know, our rest. Just acting like professional football player as good as we can, and we will see for the second leg.
Does this group of players feel the pressure after 3 seasons of not getting past this round?
The pressure is there every day. It's not because it's Champions League. We also have the pressure for the competition, for the cup. That's professional football, and when we have such a team, we just need to prove every time and every game that we are the best. Today it was not really our best game, but I have a lot of hope for the next game.
Thank you very much, Thomas. Thank you.
PSG defeated. They'll be missing Meunier for the second leg. He's suspended. Verratti as well. Thomas Meunier thought they deserved the draw.
Well, he didn't. And sometimes when you're in games, it can feel like that. And then you review it and have a look at it and think, well, we got away with one there. And
I think the first thing he said was, it was really difficult. With probably more fair reflection, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he understood how difficult the game was. They were very fortunate. It's only 2-1 and they're still in the tie, actually. So I think he's suspended, as you say.
Yeah,
and obviously,
and
Verratti as well. 2 players that, you know, they would lean upon from a defensive point of view heavily, missing in that second leg. And I think, as Owen alluded to before, you know, Dortmund will score in Paris. It's as simple as that. So Paris are Saint-Germain are going to have to play 10 times better than they did tonight.
Okay, more from Owen in a few minutes' time. But it is Dortmund ahead tonight, and it's Erling Haaland's night again. Another showreel evening for him. 2 goals on the night, 10 already in the Champions League. Sensational. Much more to be said about this game. Hopefully some more reaction as well to come from Germany. And also stay with us, because before we're done here, we'll look back on events in Madrid. Liverpool didn't even register a shot on target. Jurgen Klopp will not be pleased. Back shortly.
This programme is brought to you by Pepsi Max, UEFA Champions League sponsor.
When Jimmy was on the ball, the whole crowd came alive.
If he's got the ball...
Hargreaves are here to look back on that first half. Look, we've got plenty to look back on, despite the fact it's 0-0. The game plan for Borussia Dortmund is working well. You talked about the low block and then springing attack. It's what they've done.
Yeah, in the Bundesliga, they play that really high line. I think the manager, Lucien Favre, he knew he had to play deeper, play on their box. And to be fair, they've done it exceptionally well. They've been by far the better team in the first half. That's their shape there, back 3. But at times, it will be a back 5. And PSG haven't opened Dortmund up once. And that's remarkable, really, because Dortmund defended really poorly this season. But you see, sitting in there, that's a great block. And to be fair, PSG, they haven't made forward runs. They made forward passes, and Dortmund have been by far the better team. And when they get it, then they break. And to be fair, Jadon Sancho, Hakimi's got on the right-hand side there. Everyone's forward. Guerrero, Hazard, so many options.
Does he pick the wrong one?
Well, look, he's got almost too many options, to be fair, and he could have played people in, but Hakimi's been in so many times down that right-hand side. They just haven't really played the right ball there, but the goal just feels like it's there for Dortmund, doesn't it, JJ?
Well, that's the only negative, really, from Dortmund's point of view. The game plan that they've set out has been perfect. I think they've almost bullied PSG, especially in these midfield areas. Witsel and Emre Can have been absolutely brilliant. And when they get into these areas, Jadon Sancho has been probably their most productive player. I mean, I think Martin Keown can kind of compare the 2 performances between himself and Neymar, and it is chalk and cheese at the minute. He's head and shoulders above what Neymar's bringing to the table for PSG.
Devastating pace on the break from Sancho there. As for Haaland, he's had a couple of looks at goal. Not much, though.
No, but you can see he's not afraid to pull the trigger, and I think that's exactly what you want from him. He's going to get plenty of service with the players that Dortmund have, but there, I mean, Idrissa Gueye, that was such a poor ball there, that square one there. They played a few, and Dortmund have counted on them there. This one, he just takes it so quickly. Probably just surprises Thiago Silva and Navas there, but just feels like there's definitely a goal in it, whether it's for Haaland or Sancho or Hazard there, but he's not afraid to pull the trigger. Again, turnover possession is Gay in midfield. Probably picked the wrong option again. I think Haaland was on there. Jadon, what a ball from Jadon that was for Haaland.
Can you believe, Jermaine, how bad PSG have been?
I don't. They won't get away with that type of performance again in the second half. They're very fortunate to go in at 0-0. They've had no substance going forward. They've got no real kind of method to what they're trying to do. Poor on the ball, and